Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Play Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord with no fair fight, tips and tricks and how to start and the start of a Let's Play. There's so many questions I can answer. For example, why it is better to lead an army with a two-handed sword than with a polearm or with a sword and a shield. Why it is easier to train some skills than others, and why tactics might not be what you think it is. With that being said, of course we'll be playing this in the highest possible difficulty level, no loading, no saving, and I'll be riding around in circles killing people with arrows because that's what I do professionally, because with close combat weapons I'm really terrible. Those of you who know the Roman general maneuver of killing himself after the battle by throwing himself into his sword, I can do that in the middle of the battle, because I'm that bad at close combat. Those of you who know the Reformist and his videos, well, I'm even worse in close combat. Trust me. But with everything else, I think I should be okay. There's some things that are different to Mount and Blade 1 with Mount and Blade 2, and we'll talk about those, namely, for example, the character creation, but other things as well. With that being said, let's jump right into it. So first and foremost, when you know the old Mount and Blade, you know that there are only two ways to create your character. Either by your guts or by godly knowledge. Meaning, either you pick the choices that sound good, or you did all the math behind the choices and end up with a character with 8 trade and 7 looting. This is no longer necessary here because it actually tells you what each of your picks does. What it does not tell you is that they're more or less useful. For example, 20% less speed penalty in snow only works if you're operating in snow, and not all the map is covered by snow. Same goes for woods. If you're not into conquering towns and building towers and being a king or someone who has a castle, this skill will not be very useful to you. If you prefer footbound archers, this skill will, or this heritage will not be good for you. I'm going for this one because less trade penalty. We need coin. Coin makes the world go round. No matter in what you're bad, you can pay someone who is good in it if you have the coin for it. And if you think that being a good swordsman is all of that, or at least a medicore swordsman, I recommend the episode of the series Rome, where it is said the graveyards are full of medicore swordsmen. So gold is never medicore. Gold is always gold. So we go with this one here. By the way, no matter what culture you choose, you can side with every culture you want in the game. It's just your heritage. Now here we have two choices. Either we make ourselves small and be a harder target, or we make ourselves big and are faster because our legs are longer. We're fighting Mongol style, so we'll be smaller. Oh boy, that looks awful. Come on. Let's give me something I can work with, please. That just looked like someone from a movie, The Time Machine, didn't it? No, 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 no. I mean, I don't see my face that often, so it's not that important. But, I like random because life is random. Close to it. No, still not. Ah, well. Good as any. We should take another voice. So, now there are things you should know. For example, I told you that you're better leading an army with a two-handed sword than with a sword and a shield. Why is that? Because every skill has perks. And the more you progress in the skill, the more perks you can take. And some of the perks with the weapons actually influence your army. Yes, the army can be cheaper to pay, or can be bigger, or can get bonuses for the entire army, just depending on which weapon you are proficient with. With that being said, there are attributes: vigor, control, endurance, cunning, social, and intelligence. That's like a little bit like the old attributes: strength, endurance, intelligence, charisma, and agility, but with a big difference. In the old game, these attributes set the maximum of a skill you can learn. Here it is so that it enhances your learning curve. So for example, you can only get better in a skill by practicing it. In the old game, when you want to get better at trade, you have to put points into it. And if you want to get better at a weapon skill, you have to fight. Now this is the same here, meaning the same if you want to get better at shooting people, shoot people, and if you want to get better at trading, trade with people. Every skill is being traded by doing it, trained by doing it. However, keep in mind that this is very, very difficult in some skills. For example, increasing, that is easy, shoot people. Increasing routerie is pretty hardcore, because while this is in my eyes one of the best skills ever, because this skill determines how much loot you get after battle. I'm not making this up. Routerie has the effect of percentage of bonus to your loot, like the old looting skill. However, you can only train this skill if you A, bribe people, which is expensive and dangerous. Sneak into hostile cities. Well, first of all, you need a city hostile to you, and then sneaking into hostile cities is a bit dangerous. Escape from captivity. What are you doing there in the first place? And leading and recruiting bandits, which are not the best to get in the first place and hard to get at second. Tactics might not do what you think, because tactics mainly has an effect on your auto combat, when you auto-resolve fights instead of fighting them yourselves. So while it has some perks that help you in actual combat when you're fighting yourself, it mainly gives you benefits to fighting automatically, which we will not do. Scouting is pretty obvious. Charm sounds crap, is good, because there are perks in this that give you more renown, and renown makes bigger armies. Furthermore, charm is very, very good for interacting with people, and you will doing a lot of interacting. Leadership was good in the old game, is good in the new game. Trade was good in the old game, is good in the new game. Steward, to train this, you have to have either an army, I think it's keeping them up on good food levels, and the other part is managing a town or a city or a village or whatever. So that's pretty hard to get. Medicine, healing people, like the old surgery and first aid in one. Engineering, well, train that, good luck with that, because you have to build siege engines or other stuff, and that only happens later in the game, so to speak. Smithing, that's easy to train, basically, but costs money and time. And the fact is, what do you want to create as weapons? I mean, you can and give all your guys weapons if you like that much, but skill beats weapons in my eyes, and I'm a very, very bad fighter. Athletics, you will have to fight on your feet if you want or not, because that's how the game is. When you fight in the arena, when you fight in a hideout, you will fight on foot. So even though I hate fighting on foot because I like to be on my horse, that's the safest place you can be, we'll have to do that sooner or later. So keep all that in mind. The higher the attribute is, the higher you can train the skill and the faster you can train the skill. Furthermore, if you want one skill to improve really fast, you can get focus points. That means you get extra bonus to XP, skill XP, that is. Keep in mind, so that having 5 points in routerie does not mean you have the entire skill tree already filled. It just means that you get a little bonus to start with, and that you are increasing your skills faster. With that being said, when we create a character, we want to make absolutely sure that we have nothing wasted. So for example, we're not going into throwing, although there is one good throwing perk which will give you +5 more troops in your army. That's not bad, but we're not aiming for throwing, so that's out. Polearm is out. Trade and charm is a choice. Athletics, one-handed would be a choice, but we're going for two-handed weapons because two-handed has perks that infect the entire army, and one-handed weapons have perks that mainly go for shield instead. Scouting and bow is nice. Routerie would be cool. Polearm, not so much. So we go for trade and charm. Why? Because we get if we got enough focus points in our character creation, we will get the first perks immediately. Why that? I'll show you in a second. Just trust me here. We want to have the skills that we need as high as possible, and we don't want to waste any points. Leadership and tactics. We don't need tactics because we fight the battles ourselves. Two-handed and throwing, not interested. Athletics, not interested. Engineering, not interested. Charm and leadership, will take that. Riding and medicine, others can do. We can take people for that. So charm and leadership it is. The town, crossbows and tactic. Crossbows is better than bows when it comes to perks for the army. Sounds crazy, but that's the case. However, we're not going for that. Rougerie and one-handed. Athletics and smithing. Trade and charm. Tutor and engineering. Riding and steward. Well, we already guessed it. Trade and charm. Join the skirmishes. You get throwing and bow. I mean, you normally only use one ranged weapon, do you? We go riding and bow because that means we start with a bow, and that is quite good. So, defeated two-handed and one-handed, no. Tactics and leadership, no. Trade and smithing, sure as hell not. Bow and crossbow, we don't need both, at least not at the start. Athletics and rougerie would be a point because we want rougerie, and athletics we can use to some point. Charm and steward is out because of the steward thing. So, it sounds crazy, but we're taking the rougerie skill here. Or focus point. The last thing we go for, 100 and athletics, sure as hell no. Bow and tactics, sure as hell no. Riding and scouting, rougerie and tactics, leadership and charm. Leadership and charm. It is crazy, but we'll take it. We need a name. Beautiful. Never had a better one. Of course we go for realistic because that's how we play. Hardcore. No permadeath because I'm not sure about the save games yet. And think. So, here we are. We don't do the tutorial because for one, we all know it. For two, I couldn't learn. I'm totally resistant to the learning of close combat. No chance in hell. I'd kill myself with a training sword. We leave. It need a name. It got a name. Now, we could go for an Imperial Eagle if we're so 40k, or we go for a Roman, but actually I want to go for something else. Who knows what this is? Yes, those who played Rome Total War know it's the sign of Carthago, and I really like that. So, with that being said, first things first. What most people don't get immediately is the fact of the carrying capacity here. You can loot as much as you want. If you don't have the carrying capacity, you will be stuck and move slower and will therefore be prey to others. Now comes your question, how to increase that? Well, either by getting troops, which I would not recommend in the beginning because you want to get all of the experience yourself. Buy horses, stumper horses if you can, mules if you must. Why? Because the mule costs 3 times that what a stumper horse costs, but the stumper horse will give you the same carrying capacity bonus as the mule, which is 100 bonus carrying capacity. Beautiful. Second, we have one focus point to increase immediately. We have leadership and can pick our first perk, and we'll go with combat tips. Why is that so important? Everywhere you can see this little silver shield means you can get yourself a perk. We could get icebreaker, but that only works once. And diplomacy, 15% reduced barter penalty, will always work. So of course we go for that. Trade. We could either have a bonus with trade goods, or we get a bonus with all the stuff we sell. Since we want to kill people, we go with all the stuff we sell. Well, equipment, I mean. With that being said, we have still one focus point. We will put it into rougerie. Kill me for it, but that's what we do. Because we really need that to increase. Because you see this plus? This plus tells you how you can increase your skill. The information button will tell you what it does, and that is very important. Rougerie gives you more loot bonuses. We need loot. With that being said, trade is the reduction. Leadership is more morale. Charm relation increase. Tracking, tactics. That works on tactics. Tactics sounds great, but actually it only gives you a bonus to auto battles. We don't want that. Yes, there are some perks that will help you in normal combat, but most of the perks help you in auto combat. We're not interested in that. What did I mean about one-handed and two-handed? Well, when you look at one-handed weapon, it says more damage, better shield, blah, blah, better shield, whatever. But when you look at the two-handed tree, now look at this. Garrison size increased. We're talking about a weapon here. Garrison wages reduced by 5%. What is this? Party renown gained after battle plus 10%. Raiding speed increased by 5%. You're using a weapon and you're getting a bonus or a minus to certain other things. Here, people in 10-foot radius or 10-meter radius get an experience bonus. You know what I mean? Go for two-handed weapons. Not because you fight with it, but because it strengthens your army. That's the whole idea of it. Why do we have so much space or so much bonus to the learning rate? Well, because we have social 6 points and charm 4 points. So that's nearly maximum. That is the reason we will increase this skill really fast if we're able to socialize and do bothers and improve relations with people. So keep in mind, the skill you take is not necessarily only for what you think it does, but also for the side effects done by the perks. For example, if you take crossbow, 5% more XP after battle. What is this? Every time an enemy is killed by your bolts, reduce the enemy's morale. Here, ranged troops reload 10% faster. Hell, go for crossbows. Well, bows is ranged units are 30% cheaper to reduce. Go for throwing. Party size plus 5. You know what I mean. Skills might not do what you think they do. They might do more or less or something completely different. Now, we have this carrying capacity problem, right? And we should deal with that. Now, we need horses. Now, we could go to the city and buy the expensive horses, or we go to a little village where we can see that there are horses outside and see if they have a stumper horse. And they have. Now, look at that. The mule. Get a mule. Carry 100 more. Costs 129 gold. Buy 2 stumper horses. You buy not even the same amount and you get 200 to carry. Isn't that beautiful? It absolutely is. We buy cheese and butter because I like that personally. So, with that being said, we'll do something else just to be on the safe side. We'll make ourselves the quartermaster. Well, the scout would also work, but at the moment we have no points in scouting, so we'll not increase that. With that being said, there is one more thing we need. We now have the carrying capacity, in theory. What we don't have is enough arrows to kill people. So let's go in here and trade. We want arrows. Oh, they only have barbed arrows. Ah, what a shame, what a shame. I want to buy normal arrows. This is accuracy 85, damage 45. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but it's a little bit less accurate. But we'll buy the arrows. So, now, how much gold do we have? We cannot bribe, that's a shame, because that will increase our routerie skill, and we really have to increase that. So, this guy is riding. Let's talk to him, just because we can. Yay, we're the good guys! Do you know anything about this item that we found? Well, he knows nothing. Something else we want to discuss? No, we don't. We don't. General thoughts. Well, it's like the old Mountain Blade. They talk a lot, but they don't help. I need that helmet. Did you see the helmet? There was stuff on it. Yeah, we just talked to you. Okay, I think now we have to go and kill someone. Simply because that's what we do for a living. We are looking for looters. And we don't want to fight in the woods, although we could. Because we're bowmen. We need open ground. Think of us like the Mongol horde. Because that's how we fight, except with the horde thing. The problem is that as our scouting skill is terrifyingly low, we have problems finding looters to loot. Oh, look at that. Someone is fighting looters. But they're nearly dead. What a shame. Seems like we run out of looters to kill. Someone is killing all the people. And it ain't me. Well, it mainly is because our scouting skill is so bad. So the first thing we will increase is our scouting skill. And then we'll run through difficult terrain to increase that skill. But it seems somehow that we're out of luck. Well, we can speed up a little bit. By double clicking. But so far, oh look at, oh, there's 13 looters. That's a lot of looters. Normally, in the beginning, I would not say attack 13 looters because you will have the problem. In the beginning, your looting skill is really bad, and you will have problems having enough arrows to kill all those looters. And here they come. But we have enough arrows because we bought some. We have 47 arrows, so we should be able to kill them. Let them all come. Don't panic. Some of them will throw stones at you. Haha. Headshot, however, not enough to kill. Please keep in mind that the enemy is faster than in the old games compared to your horse. We're not exactly shooting pretty well here. Oh, and I see that my old enemy is back. The tree. I died more times on trees than I died on anything else. Oh crap, this is bad. Yeah, obstacles. Yeah, well. That is, of course, not my preferred fighting area. Anyone would have guessed that. And no, I'm not as good as I want with my bow. Do not worry, the enemy will run out of arrows sooner or later. Maybe even sooner than later. Although out of the sudden they're hitting pretty well. But that might just be because of the number of arrows they fire at us. Okay, maybe we should be riding a little bit faster just to disencourage the chance of getting hit. Because we're pretty low on health points and I don't want to go down because I got a stone on my head. Yes, those nose-picky of you will say now, Boris, why didn't you buy a shield? That is a good point. Because normally my tactic involves having a shield, but we'll be alright, trust me. Throw it all you can. This really is bad terrain for fighting. Okay, are we done now with all the throwing? Because I'm losing patience here. And I'm losing everything else as well. This guy still has arrows. Oh, that was close. Ha ha ha. right in your face. Okay, he's the last one with arrows, right? No, he's out of arrows. Beautiful. That was a headshot, and he's still standing. How is he doing that? Is that me, or are they moving a lot faster than they did in the old game? Because I couldn't keep up this speed. And we're running out a little bit low on arrows. Whoa, you're a tough cookie. The question is, where's the rest? Oh, they fled. Okay. But we look like crap. 2.8 renown, 1.9 morale. Beautiful. Now, what you will immediately notice is that you can see now if an armor is better or worse than yours. For example, this armor here seems to be better than ours, then, because although it is more heavy, it is better in armor class. Which you cannot say for this, or that, or this, or that, or this. This pilgrim's hut is better than ours, so we'll change for that. And the hammer and the pickaxe are terrible weapons for sure. Okay. That being said, we have focus points, 2 of them. We'll put 1 into scouting, because we need that. And even though you might kill me for it, I think we should go for even more routery, because we need to increase that. We need to get better. So, first things first, we killed people, pretty good. Well, we didn't kill them very good, but you get my point. We did okay. At the moment it says we're no people. Why? Because we're wounded, we have to heal. It'll take some time. So far we're not able to fight anyone, but it is enough to go home and heal ourselves. And it was all due to some really unlucky shots to the head with some stones. We are theoretically back in combat, so we could fight again. Not sure there's... that's just a castle. I don't think they can... go to the Lord's Hall. Maybe we can talk to someone. You know, being friendly never hurts. Is there anyone here? Nope. But just look at the beauty of this place. Just look. This, ladies and gentlemen, is eye candy. Eye candy, I tell you. Oh, these guys don't look that friendly, do they? Obviously, we're not that good at climbing stairs. But this is a beautiful castle. Love it. Well, we have got eye candy, we've got fighting, we've got everything. I'll see you next time around, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye!